Hi, we're going to walk through how to create a face puppet in an AR webAR face scene. In a face AR scene, you're probably used to creating augmented reality face filters and face effects. However, now we're going to show you how you can add a 3D model to your face scene and turn it into an animated character head that appears over a face in the real world when the face puppet mode is enabled. You can take, for example, a 3D model of a character head and make it a face puppet. When a person turns their head in any direction, the puppet moves with it. When the person blinks in the real world, the puppet blinks. And when they open their mouth, the 3D model also opens its mouth. You're basically defining that certain poses a person does are mirrored by the 3D model at the same time. You can choose to have the real-world camera on, that's the default setting, in which case the person will also see part of their head in the scene that's not obscured by the 3D model. Or you can choose to turn the camera off and use the 360-degree background behind your puppet 3D model, in which case your user's head will not be seen at all. To get the best results, here's a few pointers. If you've got the camera background enabled, when you add your object to the scene, ideally you want to make that object larger than the face mesh, or at least as large, so the person's face can't be seen behind it. You want to make sure your model has animations already defined for the eyes and mouth that are each 1 frame in duration, and that you've exported those with your model as clip animations. And you need to export them as file format GLB, GLTF, or FBX, so that the puppet can speak when the user speaks, or move their mouth and their eyes, blink or wink when the user blinks or winks. You can find out more about importing models and 3D models and working with 3D models in our support center. Here's a quick guide to set up a face puppet. For this demo, we're using a simple model of a 3D dog's head. You'll need to ensure you create these poses or the model is rigged already with these poses. And you create a 1-frame animation for each of the eyes and the mouth, and ensure you include these clip animations named so you can easily identify them when you export the file. First, I'll show you how to set it up with the default real-world camera on. Then add on to this by turning the camera off and adding a 360-degree background. You can use any 3D model you like, or you can download and use the model that's on our help page about creating face puppets. Let's start in your face AR scene. Start with a new one. Currently, we have an existing face scene open, and we're going to create a new scene. Go to the top left-hand corner of the editor interface. Click on it, and click Create a New Scene. Select Facial. We're going to add a scene name, Face Puppet Demo, but you can name it anything you want. Now click Add to create our scene. Once we've got our face puppet set up, we'll preview it on our desktop and on our smartphone. But first, let's make our puppet. First, we'll add our puppet, the 3D model of the dog head. Navigate to the bottom right-hand side of the editor interface and select Media Library. We can choose to add a new model, and then we can pick and upload our model from here. Or you can simply drag and drop the file from wherever it's living on your device. Once it's uploaded, select Use to add it to your scene. The model gets added to the scene in a ghosted mode, so click Place to confirm you're adding it to the scene. You'll see that the model is quite small over the head or the face mesh. This is a placeholder for a person's head in the real world. The first thing that we want to do is scale our model. The quick way to do this is using the gizmo controller overlaid on your model when it's selected in the scene. To scale the object evenly across the X, Y, and Z axis, click on one of the square handles on the gizmo, hold down the Shift key, and make that bigger. With our object still selected, open the More menu on the bottom right-hand corner and select Face Puppet Settings. Face Puppet mode isn't enabled by default, so let's toggle it on. Now we're going to map out our single frame duration animations for a mouth open, a left eye closed and a right eye closed against the clip animations that have been included when we exported our model. It's a good idea when you're naming these clip animations inside your model to name them so they make sense to make it easy to do the mapping. Then select OK. Let's test it in AR mode in the real world now on a desktop computer and a smartphone. To preview on your computer, open the main navigation menu and select Live Mode. Then, make sure you give permission for your camera to be accessed. Let's go back into our object editor and we'll preview the scene on our mobile device. Click on the Scene Settings icon in the top bar and scan the QR code with your camera on your phone or tablet. This opens your scene directly into your web browser for true webAR. Remember to allow your camera to be accessed so you can see yourself in puppet mode. You can see now that when I talk, the dog actually talks as well. When I blink or wink, the dog does the same. I can turn around and my dog head follows me. Let's move on and replace our real-world camera background with a 360-degree image or video background. For this demo, we're going to pop a 360-degree image in the background, but you can also use a 360-degree video. You need to ensure it's equirectangular, meaning it has a ratio of 2:1. It is twice as wide as it is tall. And also ensure it's at least 1920 pixels wide. You can find out more on adding 360-degree images and videos in our Help Center. Select the background icon under our dog's head, then click on the background picker. Currently it's set to camera, so we need to set it to image or video. We'll upload a photo of a park, and once it's uploaded, select Use to add it as the background in the scene. You can see that the dog head puppet is now in a 360-degree background. Let's preview again on desktop in live view, and we can see the dog here at the park. And again, if you want to preview it on your device, scan the QR code, or if you've still got the scene open in your web browser on your phone or tablet, you can simply refresh the page. There's lots of different ways in which you can use face puppets. We can't wait to see what you build. For more on creating a bunch of different webAR with OR, including image AR, spatial AR or world tracking, face AR effects and filters, GPS AR and more, head to OR.media.